Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the second episode among the series of what I didn't think about what are the series that we should be giving, but what I wanted to say that this is the second episode of the new TV channel called Wisal English, which I have to express myself to you that I'm very happy with, because it really gives knowledge to those who need to know the knowledge, especially when they are confronting a lot of doubts, which are in itself fitna. In itself fitna. Falling in fitna. Fitna means test, tribulation, etc. Fitna in faith is very dangerous. It endangers your faith and your doctrine. And I don't like that to be inactive, while we know that those spreading people of the doubts are very active. We shouldn't be inactive. So today, alhamdulillah, we're going to specify this episode in a very important topic, and that is, as you saw in at the beginning of the episode, a title named as Who are Ahlul Bayt? I'd like you to have another look at the title again to make sure that you have seen the question exactly. Who are Ahlul Beyt? A question. We have the Shia that always, if they have a library, electronic library or etc., they call it Ahlul Beyt Library. A mosque, Ahlul Beyt Mosque. A school, Ahlul Beyt School, etc., etc. The problem is that they don't know what they're talking about. They do not know what they're talking about. The word Ahlul Bayt have been mentioned in the Quran for 3 times. Ahlul Bayt. One time Ahlul Bayt, one time Ahlul Bayt without al, as you say in English, the. So first Ahlul Bayt, second Ahlul Bayt, third Ahlul Bayt, and that's all. There is no more word Ahlul Bayt than 3 times. Let's have a look at these 3 words, 3 ayat in the Quran. Can we have a look, please? الأخ المخرج. Yes. Now, linguistically, I have brought 3 linguistic books, well known. One of them is معجم مقاييس اللغة, the other one is لسان العرب, and the other one is الصحاح for Al-Jawhari. These texts, they're giving the definition of the word Ahl. Al-Khalil, a very well-known linguistic person, he said, Ahlul Rajuli Zawjuh wa ta'ahhulu tazweej. He said, the family of the man, his wife. What ta'ahhul, yani seeking to get a family, is at tazweej, is to seek marriage. another another definition. He said, Ahlul Beyt sukkano. Ahlul Beyt are the one who are living in this Beyt. Beyt means house. So this is the family of the house. Ahlul Beyt. So our wives included, they should be. Because Ahlul Bayt are those who live in this Bayt, house. Bayt means house. So how can we exclude the wives who are already inside the house? You know, there's a narration in the book of Al-Kafi, which the Shia authenticated. They said, As-Sinnawru min Ahli al-Bayt. The cat is one of the family of the house. Now, are you going to tell me that a cat can be deserving to be called a part of Ahlul Bayt, while the wife of the person, especially if she's the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, she do not deserve to be called Ahlul Bayt? So that's why he's saying Ahlul Bayt sukkano. And by the way, Al-Khalil, he said, At-ta'ahhulu tazweej. You know, if you open the passport, at the first page, they write, Muta'ahhil. That means, do you have a family? Do you have a wife? Are you married? Muta'ahhil, or A'zab. A'zab means single. Muta'ahhil, that means you have ahl, you have a wife. In the passport, they're not saying Muta'ahhil, that means, do you have a father or a mother? It doesn't say that. So, if you are Muta'ahhil, they will say yes. That means he has a wife. Muta'ahhil. So, Ahl al-Bayt are those family, wives who are living in the house. Now, also, Ibn Manzur in his book Lisan al-Arab, he said, وَالْبَيْتُ التَّزْوِيج. The house is to get married, is marriage. يُقَالُ بَاتَ الرَّجُلُ يَبِيتُ إِذَا تَزَوَّجْ. They say, when a person settles in a house, they say he's settled. That means finally he has a wife. So even the word bayt, it means to be stable in your place of marriage. When you have a wife, you already have been stabled. This is what they meant. They're not talking about a house, a structure necessarily. Now, linguistically, now we understand what was meant by the word Ahlul Bayt. Let's move to the verses that I promised you to watch. Yes. Now, that is very important. Ahlul Bayt from the Quran. The Quran is always our source, our judge, is the thing that we commit ourselves to. So let's have a look at this. Firstly, who are Ahlul Bayt according to the Quran? First verse. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنْ. That is Surah Al-Ahzab. I think it is 33 chapter, if I'm not wrong. I'll check it out. Inshallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنْ. Yes, I just confirmed it. Surah Al-Ahzab is the chapter number 33. 33. Allah says, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَ تَبَرُّجَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى. And abide in your houses, and do not display yourselves as was the display of the former times of ignorance. وَأَقِمْنَا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتِينَا الزَّكَاةَ وَأَطِعْنَا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. And establish prayer, and give charity, and obey Allah and His Messenger. إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرُكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. Allah indeed intends only to remove from you the impurity, O Ahlul Bayt, and to purify you with extensive purification. So Allah is saying, Allah is intending to remove from you Ahlul Bayt any impurity. So as you see, this verse was directed to the wives of the Prophet because it began with وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنْ, and stay in your houses. With a tense, with a female tense, وَقَرْنَ. So the verse began, it began with talking to the wives of the Prophet. Then at the end of it was وَاذْكُرْنَ, O wives of the Prophet. Remember, keep remembering in your house. Keep yourself declaring the inspiration that was revealed on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَاذْكُرْنَ مَا يُتْلَى فِي بُيُوتِكُنْ. Remember what's been rehearsed in your houses from the verses of Allah and the wisdom that is the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, subhanallah, this word Ahlul Bayt is surrounded by addressing the wives of the Prophet. It began with it, and it had been ended with it, lest any perverted, misguided, deluder, deceiver will come and say, no, the word Ahlul Bayt is not for the females, for the wives of the Prophet. It is for the sons of the grandsons of the Prophet. That is not true. Look, the whole context is clear that the verse was revealed on the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. It was revealed. Some people ask this question: Did this verse mean the wives of the Prophet? I say yes. Do you expect it not to be while Allah is speaking directly? I mean, this is a great honor that Allah is speaking directly to the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. So it's been surrounded by directing the words of Allah to the wives of the Prophet at the beginning of the verse, and the same thing at the end of the verse. So no one can play games and say, no, the verse was not talking about the wives of the Prophet. No, the verse is not talking about, the verse is talking to. It's not only about, it is talking to the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's the first one. The other one is in Surah Hud. Let's see the number of the surah. The number of the surah is 11. The angels came in a form of human beings, appearing on Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. The wife of Ibrahim. Now I want you to have a look at me here. It's very important. Be attentive. The angels came down on Ibrahim. Ibrahim wanted to shake hands with them. He could not, there's no touch between him and them. He was terrified. Then they relaxed him and they told him that we've been sent by Allah to you. And to give you good news, of having a child. Now, the reaction of the wife of Ibrahim was to hit her cheek like this and say, oh, woe to me, woe unto me. Will I be possibly becoming pregnant, deliver a child, while I'm old as well as my husband? How can this be? Now, look to the text. قالوا أتعجبين من أمر الله رحمة الله وبركاته عليكم أهل البيت إنه حميد مجيد. Look at the text, please. They said, do you wonder, or are you amazed at the decree of Allah? May the mercy of Allah and His blessings be upon you, Ahlul Beyt. That's the second verse. So we said chapter number 11, verse number 73. Please write those important information in a note, book, or etc. They're important. The third verse. So the angels were talking to the wife of Ibrahim, giving her good news. They said to her, you are Ahlul Bayt. She's the wife of Ibrahim. Look, if you're not going to obey the Quran, who are you going to obey? This Quran was revealed as an evidence that you're obliged to obey. Otherwise, you're going to be one of those opponents of the Quran at the Day of Judgment. The third verse is from Surah, I think, Al-Qasas. Al-Qasas is chapter number, I always have a problem with this. Chapter number 28, verse 12. فقالت هل أدلكم على أهل بيت يكفلونه لكم وهم له ناصحون فرددناه إلى أمه كي تقر عينها ولا تحزن ولتعلم أن وعد الله حق ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. So she said, now look at me here. She said, who's that? The sister of Musa. When Musa reached in a basket to the house of Pharaoh, there was a command given by Allah to systemize Musa with another system. Musa is hungry, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him capacity, blocked his hunger. So every woman wanted to give him milk. He was reluctant. He was refusing. Now his sister was chasing him from distance. She was observing what's happening. When she realized that they were upset, the command was given them by Pharaoh or his wife to give the baby milk, but he was refusing. And there was a bit concern about if the child will remain like this, he's going to die. Then now in this moment, the sister of Musa interfered. And she said to them the following. I wanted to look at the ayah now. She said, shall I direct you to an Ahlul Bayt to care for him to you? So they are to him for his uprising sincere. So we restored him to his mother, that she might be content and to grieve not, and that she would know that the promise of Allah is true, but most of them, ولكن أكثرهم, excuse me, before I said أكثر الناس, I have to correct it now, but most of them do not know. As you see now. She said, هل أدلكم على أهل بيت يكفلونه, in the male tense. not the female. Ahlul Bayt yakfulunahu. She didn't say yakfulnahu. No. She said yakfulunahu. See the word Ahlul Bayt. It includes men and women. But also this is one of the techniques and ethics of using the word Ahlul Bayt. Those who speak Arabic, they understand it. When a person speaks to his wife, for example, or talking about the wife of another person, they say, Ahlu Baytik, but for example, Ahlu Baytika marru min huna. He said, your Ahlul Bayt had passed from, using the male sentence or tense, not the female necessarily. Even if it's one person, for example, a checkpoint. They ask the man, for example, what's your name? Then they say, Masmu ahlik. What's the name of your family? Ahl. He didn't say, they don't say your wife. No, the word ahl has more respecting approach. It has a sort of respect and honor. They don't say zawjatuk, no, your wife, no. They say your ahl. This is well known, even linguistically. We have especially here, the angels are talking to the wife of Ibrahim, saying to her, alaykum ahlal bayt. Alaykum ahlal bayt. Now, amazingly here, Abu Ja'far al-Tusi, in his book At-Tibyan fi Tafsir al-Quran, he commented on the angels, what the angels said to the wife of Ibrahim. He said, أي قالوا لامرأة إبراهيم, when they said رحمة الله وبركاته عليكم أهل البيت, he said that they meant by that, they directed these words, the angel words, to the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So no one should be coming, as we find today, saying Ahlul Bayt. No. Aisha has nothing to do with Ahlul Bayt. Salama has nothing to do with Ahlul Bayt. Hafsa has nothing to do with Ahlul Bayt. It's not true. When the Quran speaks, who are you to say no? When the Quran says yes, who are you to say no? Unless you are fanatic. And this is the problem of sectarianism. Sectarianism, those sectarian people, they're looking thoroughly in the book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet to find any evidence. But not for the favor of the book and the Sunnah. It's for the favor of their sect. That's why we call those people sectarianism. They pick up anything that suits with their madhab. But if not, they refuse it. As they refuse the fact, especially the Shia, I mean, they ignore the fact that the Quran of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had used the word Ahlul Bayt 3 times in the Quran, and none of them was directed to a man or to a son. Isn't this amazing? And yet, they call themselves Ahlul Bayt, the followers of Ahlul Bayt, and they mean by that the sons of the Prophet apart from the wives of the Prophet. Those are not really, they are not really followers of Ahlul Bayt, because Ahlul Bayt used to be following the Quran. Those people are opposing the Quran, claiming at the same time that they are following Ahlul Bayt. How come? You're not. Now, we mentioned the word Ahlul Bayt. Let's get to the word Ahl without Bayt. Because some of them, those perverted, they say there's difference between Ahl and Ahlul Bayt. That's not true. They just want to, this is the attitude of the people of innovation. They create a difference between two things that have no difference between. And there should not be two things, there should be one thing. But they put a difference between the same thing. They say Ahl something and Ahlul Bayt is the same thing, is something different. It's not true. I refer you to more verses in the Quran. Have a look, please, at the text. We have a fourth ayah in the Quran which says, إِنَّا مُنَجُّوكَ وَأَهْلَكَ إِلَّا امْرَأَتَكَ. It's talking about the wife of Lut or Nuh, that the angels are saying to him, we will save you and your family, your Ahl, except your wife. Now, here is a very important thing. Why the Quran said except his wife? Does it mean that his wife is not of the family? No. But the Quran had accepted her. There's an exception here. Excluded her from the Ahl because of her disobedience. It's not because she is a wife and the wife has nothing to do with Ahl. No. Now the Quran is making a matter of exception, exemption here. Excluding. Why? Because she was not a believer. That's why. Another verse. قَالَ لِأَهْلِهِمْ كُثُوا. When Musa married the daughter of the good man, after being, I think, 8 years with him, then, according to the contract he made with him, with his father-in-law, that after that, Musa will leave. Then he left. On his way, when he's taking his way, he saw a fire. He said to Ahlihi, stay for a while. I'm going to see the fire. Who's with him? Only his wife. That's why even the Shia confessed it. That when Musa said to Ahlihi, it means he said to his wife. Also, we remember the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, when the wife of the king seduced him and she wanted him for herself. He went away and she traced him, she followed him, and she captured him by his shirt until his shirt was torn. At the same moment, the husband, the king, opened the door and saw something strange. Immediately, the wife of the king said to him, what would be the punishment of those who seek, who intend any harm to your Ahl? ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن. And the punishment of that should be nothing but putting him in jail. أو عذاب أليم, or a painful punishment. A painful, suffering punishment. ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك. What would be the punishment of those who sought to harm your family? And it's very clear that she's talking about his wife. The text is talking about his wife, the wife of the king, Ahl, the Ahl of the king. So the word Ahl and Ahlul Bayt, they are used for the wives. Now, by the way, we don't say only the wives of the Prophet, the word Ahl or Ahlul Bayt. No. We say it includes wives and sons. According to the Shia perspective, when they say that the word Ahlul Bayt is related to the sons, they exclude the wives. That is not true, and that is against the Quran. That is against the Quran. Let's read now more from the Sunnah. Rawal Bukhari, it had been narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam دخل على عائشة, he entered the place of Aisha, and he said to her, Assalamu alaykum Ahlul Beyt wa rahmatullah. Narrated by Al-Bukhari, that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, whenever he used to enter the house of Aisha, and say, whenever he enters, he says to her, Assalamu alaykum Ahlul Beyt wa rahmatullah. Peace be with you, Ahlul Bayt, and the mercy of Allah. Then Aisha, she replies, Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The narration says, وَكَانَ يَمُرُّ عَلَى جَمِيعِ نِسَائِهِ, and he used to pass by all of his wives, saying to them what he usually says to Aisha. That means unto each one of his families, he used to say, Assalamu alaykum Ahlul Bayt wa rahmatullahi. Yeah. The narration number is 4793 in Sahih al-Bukhari. Another text in Sahih al-Bukhari as well. The Prophet was asked, how do we perform salah on you? That means, which is for your favor, something that we do to Allah for you. Then the Prophet said, قولوا, that means when you are in the tashahhud mode, قولوا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Say, O Allah, grant your salah on Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. In the next narration, in the same book Bukhari, the Prophet adds something else and says, اللهم صل على محمد وأزواجه وذريته. O Allah, grant your salah on Muhammad, his wives, and his offspring, his children, his kids. So the second one explains that when the term Ahlul Bayt is used, it includes wives and children. By the evidence from the Book of Allah, by the evidence of the Sunnah. طيب. Another hadith. The Prophet ﷺ gave dua by saying, Allahumma ja'al rizqa ali Muhammadin quta. Oh Allah, let the provision of the family of Muhammad be only a matter of qut, yani just to take what you need to eat, not to store food, not to take a lot of money. And this da'wah was fulfilled to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by his wives, through his wives. They remained poor, while his family, other than his wives, they were rich. But only the wives of the Prophet ﷺ remained poor until they died. Also, there's another hadith which is narrated in Bukhari and Muslim, where the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man yu'adhiruni min rajulin balagani abahu fi ahli, wa wallahi la a'lamu an ahli illa khayra." The Prophet ﷺ said, "Who would be blaming me, from punishing a person that had harmed my ahli," in another narration, my Ahlul Bayt, and I swear by Allah that I do know nothing about my family except what is good. Except good. There's a story for that. You know, when the hypocrites spoke ill against Aisha radiallahu anha, and they harmed her. They claimed that she fell in adultery. It was a false testimony. Then the Prophet went up into the pulpit and he gave these words: "Who would blame me from punishing someone who really harmed my Ahlul Bayt? And wallahi, I do not know about my Ahl except what is good." And also the Prophet was using these words for Aisha, because she's the one that had been accused falsely. This hadith, as I said, in Bukhari and Muslim both. The last evidence from the Sunnah is when the wife of the Prophet, Maria, the Coptic one, she was accused. Some people suspected, not accusing, but they suspected a man entering her house. And the Prophet ordered Ali himself, not Abu Bakr, not Umar, Ali, to take him, to go and spy upon him and to capture him. So Ali went, and he saw him going out of the house of Maria. As Ali saw him, he chased him. The man was afraid. He thought that he'll be killed. He jumped a tree. Then he could not jump it because Ali chased him. Then he fell down. Then he was exposed. Some of his clothes was uncovered because he fell down from the tree. Then Ali realized that the man has nothing, and there's no lust. He has no lust. He has no need for women. And this man was helping Maria, bringing her things from time to time. Then when this happened, and Maria's innocence was proven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the Prophet praised Allah, saying, Alhamdulillah, alladhi yasrifu anna su'a Ahlul Beyt. And this is narrated, I remember, Allahu A'lam, in Musnad Ahmad. But authentically, I'm quite sure about the authenticity of this. And also I think in Sharh Ma'ani al-Athar, or Sharh Mushkil al-Athar, for Imam al-Tahawi, he brought this narration, and scholars of hadith authenticated it. They said it's authentic. Here, the Prophet is saying, I praise Allah that He divert any evil matter against my Ahlul Bayt. And he said that after his wife Maria was proven to be innocent. Her innocence was proven. So after that, right after that was proven, the Prophet said this, that Alhamdulillah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala divert any harm from my Ahlul Bayt. For sure, the Prophet is talking about his wives. Another hadith, and by that, if you want, inshallah, we can try to get some phone calls from people, and I hope it's in English. Okay, the Prophet here is saying, alayhi salatu wasalam, now this is not from the Sunni books, it's from the Shia books. Okay. Here, let's have a look at the Shia books. It's in the book Al-Kafi, volume 5, verse, page 495, where the Prophet ﷺ said, now this is a Shia narration, "I'ti ahlaka tu'jar." "I'ti ahlak tu'jar," which means here, yani, approach your family, you'll be rewarded. The Prophet here is talking about intercoursing his wife. "I'ti ahlaka tu'jar." Approach your family, that means sexually, and you'll be rewarded. Now look at the word ahl here. If you say that ahl is for the children, doesn't mean that the Prophet is saying to the man, okay, approach your children sexually? Approach your sons sexually? No, no way. Okay, this is from the Shia book. There's another narration. Yeah, it continues. That the man said, I have no family. Then the Prophet said to him, don't you have concubines or mothers of children? He said, yes. Then the Prophet said, you're not single. This hadith is authenticated by Al-Majlisi in his book Mur'at al-Aqul, volume 18, page 20. Now, here I have a fatwa book which is well known by the Shia. It's called Siratun Najah, Sirat al-Najah for Al-Khu'i, also well-known scholar, Shia scholar, who admitted it in his book Siratun Najah, Ajuba wa Istifta'at. The path, the straight path, answers and seeking fatwa. In his book, first volume, page 455, he said, yes, the wife is among the Ahl. الزوجة من الأهل. That's what he said, and that's what we need. The wife is one of the people of Ahl. Now, another Shia book, this is Al-Khomeini himself who said that Ja'far al-Sadiq said, if one of you wanted to approach his family, then let him mention the name of Allah. فإن لم يفعل وكان منه ولد كان شرك الشيطان. Khomeini said that the As-Sadiq, one of the family of Rasulullah, that he said, if one of you wanted to intercourse with his family, let him remember Allah. Intercoursing his family. That's very clear. It's not talking about the kids, the sons. طيب. Also the Shia, what I mentioned is in تحرير الوسيلة for Khomeini, من لا يحضره الفقيه, etc. Now there's another narration. The Shia narrated that one of the people of Al-Ansar had come to the Prophet ﷺ, and he said to him, O Prophet, I have perished myself, and I perished others. And he meant his wife by that. The Prophet said, what happened? He said, I have intercoursed my Ahl in Ramadan while I was fasting. I have intercoursed my family. You know the meaning of intercoursing. I have intercoursed with my family while I was fasting. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, free a slave. And you know the rest of the story. So when the man said, I have intercoursed my family in Ramadan, is he talking about the sons or his wives? Necessarily. It's very clear. Another evidence. Now what I mentioned is in the book called من لا يحضره الفقيه, second volume, page 115, وسائل الشيعة للحلي, for Al-Hilli. The volume is 30, the page number 7. The last one I'm going to quote for you, inshallah. ما من مؤمن ولا كافر إلا وهو يأتي أهله عند زوال الشمس. There is no believer and even a disbeliever, but he intercourses with his family at the falling of the sun, يعني dawn, the dawn of the sun. فإذا رأى أهله يعملون بالصالحات حمد الله على ذلك. If he saw his family doing good, he'll be praising Allah for that. Let's take another narration and we end by that. Okay. A man came to Abu Abdullah, which means Ja'far al-Sadiq, the grandson of Ali radiallahu anhu. That man said to Ali, Inna li ahla bayt. I have Ahlul Beyt. وهم يسمعون مني أفأدعوهم إلى هذا الأمر. They listen to me. Shall I call them for that? That means to follow you, to be your Shia, etc. He said, Naam, yes, you should do that. That's in the book Al-Kafi, volume 6, page 11. And Majlisi said it is authentic. And Majlisi is the one who is involved in, criticizing, authenticating the narrations of hadith. Look what the man said. I want to be very careful. The man said, I have Ahlul Bayt. Then Ja'far replied and said to him, he cited to him this ayah, يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا. O you who have believed, avert yourself, keep yourself away, avoid yourselves as well as your families a fire, which its fuel is mankind and stones. These two are the fuel of hellfire. So Allah said, avoid yourselves and your ahl. Doesn't mean that Allah is addressing us to avoid, to keep away our children apart from our wives, from misguidance. No. If you say that, you're opposing the Quran, the Sunnah, and your own mind. No. This is what I wanted to mention about when we use the term Ahlul Bayt. It means the wives necessarily. And the children, yes, we don't say no. When we believe, when we apply this ayah, we apply it on wives and children. We include the children. We include the sons of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But when they do it, when they believe in the word Ahlul Bayt, they exclude the wives of the Prophet and they include only the sons of Ali. This topic is long, and I think inshallah this was the beginning of giving you all details and facts about the truth, especially regarding these issues that the Shia always talk about. I hope inshallah we'll be having another episode in which we'll be continuing the meaning of the word Ahl al-Bayt and what is the Muslim doctrine and the Muslim's perspective regarding these issues. Thank you for being with us, hoping inshallah that you'll be with me on another episode that is related to the subject of Ahlul Bayt. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Mm-hmm.